Hello, everybody. This is another episode of Break Limits Entrepreneurial Small Business Encouragement. And this morning, I am bringing to you Michelle from the No Framework. Michelle is a conscious business strategist and spiritual mindset coach, helping creative entrepreneurs get focused, inspired, and productive using a blend of strategic business methods and holistic spiritual practices to provide support for business and people to operate better. Since 2009, Michelle has helped entrepreneurs successfully grow service-led businesses by using her step-by-step business framework model, which provides the tools, clarity, and confidence boost needed to move forward effectively for both self and business. In addition to her business successes, Michelle is a qualified life purpose and law of attraction coach, Reiki practitioner, spiritual and quantum touch healer, and spiritual medium. She's based out of Hertfordshire, UK. She is often found with a book studying for her astrology diploma, getting creative in drawing and painting, exploring new places, and creating new memories with her loved ones. Again, thank you so much, Michelle, for joining us. I'm so happy to have you. So tell us, what was the passion that helped you start your business?
For me, it was all around healing, helping people to heal through the action they were taking in their career. And I kind of thought many, many years ago, maybe 10 years ago or so now, how amazing would it be if people were kinder to people in business? Because that domino effect would change the world. Imagine everybody that you dealt with in your business or that you contacted into a business and you got kindness in return. That would be amazing. So that was kind of the seed. And then everything else kind of came out of that, the conscious business, integrating spirituality in business, practice as an entrepreneur, and all these things kind of started coming in after that thought.
Oh, that's awesome. That is so impactful. So throughout your businesses, you've been in business for a while, since 2009. What was your most memorable moment in your business?
There's been loads. Great question. Great question. I think getting my first client for me when I went completely off on my own was like the moment where I said, oh my God, I can do this. And then seeing the change that one person made when I launched my beta program, seeing the change in her was awesome. And I think that was such a rewarding experience for me on my business, just from a practical point of view, but to seeing the impact that it could create. And I think for me, that was a real aha moment of what can be made through this kind of process.
So the heartfelt impact in someone else and seeing that change.
It was beautiful. So beautiful when you see somebody go, oh my God, yes, or you see them release something or heal from something or move past something. For me, that's where the joy is. That's where the purpose is.
Absolutely. Yes, people really don't care what you know until they know how much you really care.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So I know, in business, as we go through, we're going through those trials and tribulations. Were there ever any times in your business where you felt like giving up?
For sure. For sure.
And what did you do? How did you get back on track and refocus?
There's two things that happen. It's either I'm going in the wrong direction because something is totally not aligned, or I'm burnt out and I need rest. And for me, it's understanding the difference between the two. And I've always, so far, I'm still doing it. So far it's been, okay, I need to rest. I need mind rest more than anything else. And I need some self-care. And that could be for an hour, a day, a week, a month. There's no time limit on that. It's what you need. So for me, it's been understanding that balance, because right early on, I fell into the trap that most entrepreneurs do of like working so hard and doing, and stopping being in the business and working on the business instead of in it. And it was that balance for me. And when you feel exhausted, you don't have any emotional capacity quite often to deal with the little things that come up. So then everything starts to feel heavy. And it's understanding, for me, just learning to understand, to balance that out and to not be thrown by the little things. And that's where the emotional healing comes in. So there's a lot of rejection that comes in business. You do an outreach sometimes and people don't appreciate the B2B outreach, and they might come back with something that feels quite heavy and not quite nice. And it's dealing with those things and understanding it's not personal. It's just how things work sometimes, and moving through. So for me, it was kind of exploring that and just knowing when to rest, really knowing when to rest. And it's not a case of give up, it's a case of, okay, just retake stock.
So it sounds like we have to also, along with caring for the business, take time to care for ourselves.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
If you're not well, then you're not any help in your business for someone else who needs your healing.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
So do you have any tips for anyone who's thinking about starting their business and they're on the fence? What would you say to them?
It takes courage to start your own business. It takes courage. I think it's being aware that you're not going to know everything, and you're not expected to know everything. You're not expected to know anything really. When you have a passion for something, that drives, and the how kind of falls in. And it's not to say that they're not challenging moments in that, or not, oh my God, how am I going to do these moments? Because of course there are. But when you have that inner truth that you can tap into and that is stronger than anything else, that's when you know you have to go for it. And if you're on the fence, just take the baby steps, because it feels so overwhelming, so overwhelming. I need a website, I need clients, I don't know anything about marketing. How am I supposed to put a business strategy? Like, all these things come in, and it's piece by piece by piece. And find people that have done it, and people that you can get experience from, some mentors, but people that you connect with as well. So find yourself a network without going down a rabbit hole of loads of online groups and lots of different space, but find people that you really believe in that are doing the same thing, and follow them and learn from them, and be open to receiving the learning is really important. And because it just takes baby steps, and then all of a sudden it starts to snowball, and there's no time limit. There's lots of things online that say, launch your course and make X amount of money in 6 weeks, or do this in 30 days. And don't be limited by anything that anybody tells you online. It's all at your own pace. Don't feel overwhelmed with what other people have done, their journeys. Don't feel overwhelmed with the things that you think that you need to do, because I'm going to say I think everybody that I've come across and I've coached, they think they need to do probably 75% more than what they need to do to make their business a success, especially in that first 18 months, that first year, 18 months period.
I think one of the things that you said definitely resonated with me too, is finding the people, that are around you, either doing what you're doing. And also sometimes finding those people can help you build a team.
Yes, it's important to
grow your
right
business.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know I've definitely tapped into people that were marketing specialists, and I have a degree in marketing myself, but there are some people out there that have definitely done the work in the marketing field for so long, and managing to connect to various different platforms has always definitely been helpful, especially finding those that do it. They're already doing what you're trying to do.
Yeah, exactly. It's not a case sometimes of whether you can, it's whether you should. And because I came from an operational business strategic perspective. So that was my history before I launched my own business. And I sort of knew elements of all of these things, but it didn't mean that I should be doing all of them. Because if you can get somebody that you trust that takes over that area, it frees up your headspace to focus on the thing that you're delivering. And that's really important to understand as well, the can versus the should. And there are people that you can trust, especially if you're an expert in an area like marketing, for example, or sales. Sometimes you're blinded and you can't always see, because you know so much about that area, to do it in the most effective way for the holistic side of the business. So it is that, I think that's really courageous to bring somebody else in with your expertise in your business, because we need it in all areas.
Absolutely. And a lot of times a team can achieve more than one.
Oh, definitely.
So we're coming, I don't know if we're really coming out of the pandemic just yet. I think we've gotten a little bit better, but we still hear of COVID quite a lot. In some places are still under restrictions. Would you say that COVID should be a reason, or a pandemic, or, any type of issue like what we're dealing with now? Is that a reason for a business not to start?
No way. I think there's been so much success with businesses over the COVID period. There was a lot of traditional framework, which is a lot of the work I do, is to break down this traditional framework of, you need an office, you need people in the office 9 to 5, and you need all of these kind of traditional methods, but actually you don't, to deliver effective results. There are some real positive reasons to be physically together, but there's also some positive reasons not to be. Like, you and I are connecting from total different parts of the world right now because of the beauty of being able to connect online. And the more you utilize that in the business, the more future-proof you're building your business as. And that's definitely not a reason. It's definitely not a reason to not start. It feels scary because there's lots in the news about businesses failing, and it depends what industry you go into. Granted, if you're going to go into hospitality, you need to be more strategic about what kind of hospitality are you going to go into. Are you going to have the customers? Are the restrictions going to affect you? But more often than not, there's ways around that to deliver your service or your gift, whatever it is that you're doing, your business idea. There's ways around that to deliver it to people in different ways, and it's just finding those ways and pulling those things out to have that as your ultimate goal plan.
Absolutely. If you look through history, you'll find that there are a lot of businesses that actually started and are quite successful even now today that started during past pandemics. So a lot of times it's, like you said, being strategic, knowing how to innovate so you can make the shifts needed to still meet the needs, and find it. Sometimes there's even new niches and new services and new things that are needed during situations like this. Great, great. So tell us a little bit more about your business.
My business is about, it started with coaching, just coaching people to how to run their business. And a lot of my what I used to call my other life is very spiritually based. So I trained as a medium and I did lots of different energy healing work. And I ended up combining both of them because I was finding in my coaching sessions, people were coming to me saying, let me think of an example. I need to redo my pricing and think about my money mindset and how I do pricing. But they wanted to go through exactly what it is that they were offering, what the pricing was, and how all of that fitted into their overall strategy. So it's like, okay, fine, we can do that. But actually, in the sessions, what came out is there was a huge shift that was needed on an inner level to be able to take the steps needed to change the strategy, to make that offering work, to make that pricing work. So I ended up blending both of those together. So now I work on a conscious business level, like really what are we doing to look properly at the strategy that we're doing. Because if you've got one goal and you do everything really well, you achieve that one goal. A mistake a lot of people make is thinking that they need 3 or 4 or 5 different goals. So it's about pacing yourself. So all of my work is around helping people to consciously build their businesses with streamlined strategies that work for their business, because everybody's different and they do things in different ways. So where Facebook might be really good for one person in your industry, Instagram might be better for you in your industry. So it's picking out those things that really feel good and understanding how to bring them in, and also keeping yourself aligned with your business. Otherwise you do just burn out, and that is that give up stage, we were talking about earlier. So it's helping people through step-by-step business strategy alongside their mindset and the personal growth.
Awesome, awesome. So what would be the happiest moment with you and your business?
I mean, taking the decision to start it, I still look back on that moment and I'm super proud of taking that step and of saying, okay, yeah, I'm going to do this. Because there was a lot going on in my life, as there is with everybody. There was a lot going on in my life, and on paper it didn't quite look like necessarily the right thing to do, which is why people stay on the fence. But my spirit and my soul were just like, do it. And I feel really proud that I listened to that truth, that inner truth.
How good does it feel when you tell somebody about your business and how long you've been in business and the impact that you create?
It feels good to be able to say to people it can work, and you can do what you love and do that for business, and you can do that within a business, and to be able to get people to see that for themselves, because it's so rewarding. If you're doing something that positively impacts somebody else, it's so rewarding, it's so fulfilling. It's a self-fulfilling cycle, and you get through those challenges because that bigger purpose sits there. And showing that to other people and to allow other people in that space to experience that is that's why I do coaching. But it's an amazing thing to be able to get people to see.
So what does your client look like?
Most of my clients have been in business a little bit for maybe 18 months is a minimum. I've got some people that are just starting out and just launching, but most of the time it's people that have been in business and they're hitting brick walls. So I can't get past this revenue point. I can't get past this this particular HR issue. I can't get past this growth stage. I can't work out how to innovate my products. I can't get excited anymore about what it is that I'm offering. So I help people that hit those brick walls, that feel like they have no clarity. There's so many pieces of the jigsaw that are up in the air somewhere and you can't see them. I often say it's like not being able to see the wood for the trees, and it's helping people get clarity and then feel confident in how they're moving forward. So it's the clarity piece that's so important, because doing one or two things really well is better than doing 100 things mediocre.
So they definitely got to get out there and start that business and get focused. And you help them get focused, which is really great.
Yeah.
So any last thing you'd like to share with any entrepreneurs out there that are struggling?
I think if you are struggling with anything in your business, it's a sign to pause. And it doesn't matter if the next step is to stop and do something else, or to continue with what you're doing, or to find a different way and continue that way. But pause. It's a sign in your body. If something's in you, it's a sign somewhere to stop and just take note and look at things from a wider perspective, and write everything down. If you're a journaler and you're a writer, write everything down that you're worried about or that you're fearful about, and tackle that list one by one. And then pit that against really what it is that you want to do in the world, and then see where it weighs up. Because a lot of the stuff that's happening inside in your mind, the thought processes, probably isn't what you think it is when you get it all out and put it on paper. So to find somebody that you can have in your corner, that's a mentor for you, that's somebody that's done it before. Find somebody else to talk all of that out with, and don't try and do it on your own. I'm a firm believer that everything in life we're not meant to do on our own. They are our own experiences, but we are not supposed to walk this life on our own. So find someone and take the step to ask for help in whatever way feels good for you, to move past that, because whatever happens after that point of asking for help, you will be supported. And that's very important.
Very, very true. It's always important to definitely find a coach. That a coach has made a difference for me as well. Do you also have a coach, Michelle?
Yeah, I have a coach. It's amazing the amount of coaches that don't have coaches, but I've been very, very lucky. I've had a couple of really amazing mentors very early on in my career, and now work with a coach. And I wouldn't be able to not do that now, because the accountability is really important, to be able to say, I'm going to get this done, and you're accountable to somebody else, and somebody to hold space for you so that you can express and explore yourself in a judgment-free environment. That's really, for me, that feels really important. And somebody else always shines a light where you haven't looked.
Absolutely. Shines a light where you haven't looked, keeps you on track. The accountability piece is really important. Keeps you focused and going in the right direction.
Yeah, absolutely. It keeps you motivated. When you've got somebody, it's like a boxing ring. When you've got somebody in your corner just shouting for you, and you know he's going to be there at the end of that match, at the end of that game, you know that you've got somebody there in your corner. It makes a whole load of difference, because you go out with more confidence.
Absolutely. So, Michelle, if anyone wanted to tap in with you, where could they find you?
So you can contact me either on Instagram, which is just @noframework, on Facebook, which is @noframework too, or my website, which is noframework.com.
All right, everyone. So you heard it here. If there's a business you want to start, tap in, make sure you take those steps that are needed. Don't let fear stop you, because someone out there needs your services. Thank you so much, Michelle, for taking some time out with us this morning. Again, everybody, this is Break Limits, the Entrepreneurial's Encouragement. Please comment, like, and share below. We love to hear from you on what your thoughts are.